Welcome to Daily Steps from One Extraordinary Marriage, where we outline simple steps that you can take to have the ultimate marriage adventure. I'm Tony DeLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. In today's show, we answer the question, how do we handle cleaning up after sex?
I love this question because every single one of us that's having sex has to deal with this, right?
Yeah.
But no one talks about this particular aspect of sex, right? You never see cleanup scenes in a movie.
Never.
Like if you read romance novels, there's never like, what did they do after they lovingly gazed into each other's eyes and made love? Like you never hear about it.
Nope.
But the fact is that we're all dealing with it in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of the answer to this question really has to do with what season of life are you in your marriage, right? Because there can be all different kinds of factors involved. You know, are you a couple that uses condoms?
Cleanup's pretty easy.
Cleanup's pretty easy, right? Are you in a place where you're trying to make a baby or not make a baby? Right? If you're trying to make a baby, you may just be sitting there hanging out for a while. I distinctly remember when we were trying to conceive Alex,
our oldest,
that there was a time when I had read, about tilting your pelvis and just, being in that position for, I don't know, like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I remember, yes, we did have sex and I just laid there with my pelvis tilt and Tony's like walking in another bedroom going, what are you like, this is weird. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you in a place where you're in a different location, right? Maybe you're in a hotel. This is one of our favorites. When we are in a hotel that has 2 beds. Yeah. Right? We use one bed to have sex on and one bed to sleep on.
Perfect.
It becomes like the dirty bed and the clean bed. Mm-hmm. Are your sheets clean? Like there are all these things that like go through your head. And again, nobody's talking about it. But the reality is that we've got to have conversations about what cleanup looks like or how we want to clean up or do we want to clean up? And some people, we've posed this question to the one family in the past and some people are kind of like, no, we're just good. Like we just hang there, hang out until, we feel like getting up.
Here's the thing though. If you haven't had the conversation, you may feel like, wow, what's going on? Like she's jumping right out of bed and I really want to hang out with her right now. And I just want to cuddle her, or it may be vice versa. Ladies, your man, he finishes and he's gone, right. he's in the bathroom and you're like, wow, I was hoping we would just, sort of hang out a little bit. And so if that's you, then you have to have the conversation. How are we going to handle cleanup sex?
Right. Because we tossed this question out on Instagram and just said, hey, how do you guys clean up after sex? Right? Because we know how Tony and I do it. We call them our sex towels. We have a sex towel by the bed. And so it's usually on the pillow where we can easily grab it. Yeah,
it's usually right in the middle of our pillow, like right in the middle of our bed, I should say. And so it's sort of like, all right, it's right there.
Now, there have been times we've forgotten.
Yeah. Or we get hot and heavy and we're not even thinking about it. And we're just like, okay.
Like, what's handy?
Yep.
Right?
Boxers, shirts, whatever might be close by.
What can we grab? But for a lot of you, it was some combination of a towel, washcloth, wipes, toilet paper, or tissues.
By the bed.
Mm-hmm. There's one coaching client I remember they shared with me. They just keep a box of tissues because they figure when the housekeeper comes in, it's totally innocuous that they would have tissues by their bed. And, it's easy to just like scoop up and throw away.
Makes sense.
Super easy, right? A lot of you head to the shower. You're like, I'm done. Shower time.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of those questions going like, it was sort of like a below the waist, sort of like a lower part shower.
Belly button down.
Right. It wasn't like, hey, we're going to like soap up and do our whole hair and all this. It was just sort of like, hey, we're just going to do a quick clean off and we're going to roll.
Right. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do some version of the awkward walk to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of people just saying peeing.
Well, for women.
Yes. And you said this is because of...
Well, it helps to prevent urinary tract infections.
There it is. Right. Yeah. And that was interesting because you go there, you're like, okay, I'm done. And it's like, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going, well, what do we just do that makes you have to go to the bathroom? But I guess it's more of that.
I prefer not to have UTIs.
Yeah.
And I think partly, honestly, after, being with you for 22, I think it's also conditioning. Right? Like I'm so conditioned that I'm going to go to the bathroom and it's that whole Pavlov response. And some people just grab whatever's handy or just lay there and, just enjoy that experience. Mm-hmm. And the thing with cleaning up after sex is that there's no right way or wrong way. It's what's going to work for you and your spouse. Right? But until you have the conversation, you may be going, why, like Tony said, why is he or she sprinting? Or you may even have the conversation. I mean, there have been times when we've agreed beforehand that we are just going to bask in the afterglow. Mm-hmm. Right. And when we have that conversation, Tony and I, before we have sex, then my mindset shifts. I'm not into kind of like my pre-programmed automatic response. But again, that only happens as a result of conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation to have because we're all dealing with it. And maybe you just kind of like things have evolved in your marriage over time. You're just kind of like, oh. But like we talk about so often here on Daily Steps, what would happen? What could you learn if you're like, hey, so I was listening to Daily Steps and Tony and Lisa, they were talking about cleaning up after sex. How's that working out for us?
Yeah. And it may be a way for one of you to even initiate, like if you have picked up towels, like they're all the same color, you sort of know that those are your sex towels. Hey, it may even become a new way for you to be able to initiate because spouse walks in and towels on the bed and it's all right. She or he is initiating, game on tonight.
Oh, look at Tony being Mr. Creativity. See, and that's the great thing when the conversation gets opened up about your sexual intimacy, that you start moving into this place where you're like, how can we take something like cleaning up and make it about increasing our connection? Every time we get behind these microphones here at Daily Steps, how can we help the two of you increase your connection?
For more on this conversation, check out oneextraordinarymarriage.com/315.